just a question of percentages, isn't it? That's how life is operating. That's not how logic is operating. Anyway, let's look at Aristotle's life. Extremely logical man, intellectually brilliant, no question about that. But tried to stretch logic to all aspects of life. And in many ways he was a cripple. One thing is, Aristotle's body never developed to its normal size. He was abnormally thin. So because of this, he used to wear 3 dresses, one over the other, just to make himself look presentable. See, if you're abnormally thin and you don't care, that's different. But if a man has to wear 3 dresses, one on top of the other, that's not a good state of mind, isn't it so? Yes? That's not a good state of mind. This is how he was. One day, Aristotle was walking in the beach. A glorious sunset was happening. But Aristotle has no time for such petty things which happen every day. He's seriously thinking about some great problem of the existence. Because for a fool like Aristotle, existence is a problem, it's not a joy. And he believes he's going to solve it. So seriously thinking, he's walking up and down the beach. There's another man on the beach who is doing something very intensely. He is doing it so intensely that even Aristotle could not ignore him. You know, all these stupid people who can think a little bit, who are thinking too much about their own nonsense, they are people who ignore life around them. They are the people who don't have to smile at anybody in the world, they don't even have to look at everybody, they cannot go like this on the street, like they're practicing to go, for their funeral. Do you see such people? Because they think they're intellectual, they think they can ignore all the life around them. They have no eyes to look at a flower, they have no eyes to look at a sunset, they have no eyes to look at a child or a smiling face or even an unsmiling face to make it smile. They have no such small duties in the world or small responsibilities in the world or small cares in the world. They are all out there solving the problems of the existence. But you can't ignore this man because he's doing something so intensely. Then Aristotle noticed what he's doing. This man is going to the sea, ocean, coming back, going to the ocean, coming back, going to the ocean, coming back, in great intensity. So Aristotle stopped and asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" That man said, "Don't disturb me, I'm doing something very important." And went on and on. Then Aristotle became even more curious and asked, "What are you doing?" That man said, "Don't disturb me, something very important." He said, "What is this important thing?" Then he said, he had a little hole in the beach and he said, "I'm emptying the ocean into this hole." And he has a tablespoon in his hands. Aristotle looked at this and laughed. A man like Aristotle cannot laugh on a daily basis, They cannot laugh, isn't it? You meet them every day or no? Or you or them? How many of you spend a day, one whole 24 hours without even a little bit of laughter? Okay, don't raise your hands. Aristotle is the kind who can spend a year without a single moment of laughter because he is intellect, It takes a heart to laugh. Intellect cannot laugh, it can only dissect everything. Aristotle laughed and said, "This is ridiculous, you must be insane. Do you know how vast this ocean is? How can you ever empty this ocean into this little hole? And that too with a tablespoon? At least if you have a bucket, some chance. Please give this up. This is madness, I'm telling you. That man looked at Aristotle, threw the spoon down and said, "My job is already finished." Said, what do you mean it's finished? Even the hole is not full. Forget about ocean being empty, even the hole is not full. How can you say your job is finished? That man was Heraclitus. Heraclitus stood up and said, "I am trying to empty this ocean into this hole with a tablespoon. You are telling me it's ridiculous, it's madness to give it up. What are you trying to do? Do you know how vast this existence is? It can contain 1 billion oceans like this and more. And you are trying to empty it into the small hole of your head with what? With tablespoons called thoughts. Please give it up." It's very ridiculous. Because if you want to know the experiential dimensions of life, you will never know it with your petty thought. I am calling your thought petty because it doesn't matter how you can think, it is still petty. You understand? If you have an Einstein's brain, it is still a petty thought. Because thought cannot be bigger than that. Thought can only be logical, functioning between two polarities. That's too small. If you want to know life in its immensity, you need something more than your thoughts, something more than your logic, something more than your intellect. Only if you open up that dimension, you will taste life in its larger proportion. Otherwise, you will know only the physicality of life. With thought, you will not penetrate anything other than the physical. You can know the physical. You can use the physical. Because the world has given so much significance to Aristotle and his tribe, all the sciences have developed in the physical dimension. With this, much comfort has come, much convenience has come. I know you're all too thrilled about what your computer can do, what your internet can do, but it's not done anything to your life if you really look at it. Yes? It's brought comfort and convenience. Greed, endless greed, but it has not brought any joy to you ultimately. It has not taken you to any higher dimension of experience or existence. You are in the same place. Instead of riding a bullock cart, maybe you're… where's that Mercedes man? Okay. Maybe you're driving a Mercedes or dreaming a Mercedes, whichever way. But still only moving from point A to point B, isn't it? You have not gone to another point. Whether you fly a jet plane or a bullock cart or this or that, only point A to point B, only lateral movement, isn't it? Even if you take a spacecraft, still point A to point B, no new dimension has occurred to you, in spite of all this exploration, because the instruments of exploration that you're using are too limited, that's all. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but the instruments of exploration are just logical and intellectual, so there is no way you will touch any other dimension of life. It's not possible. It's like you're trying to go to the moon with a bullock cart. It doesn't matter how hard you beat the bulls, it's not going to get there. It's not going to get there. If you beat the bulls really hard, maybe we can climb the mountain on a bullock cart, but you can't go to the moon. Do you still believe you can? Try hard. Some more frustration has to happen before you open up the other possibility. Either you learn out of your intelligence or life